Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the channel. Got another great deck profile for you guys. It's going to be my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile that's updated for the 2021 format. It will also include Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in the extra deck. So if you guys are excited, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also leave a like on the video because it helps grow our channel here. So without further ado, take it away, Joey.
Check this out! Red Eyes Black Dragon!
Alright guys, so starting out here in our main deck, we're playing, of course, 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon, because he is the boss monster of this deck, so of course you're going to run 3 copies of him. Then we're also running 3 copies of Dark Magician, because we are playing Red Eyes Dragoon in the extra deck, and in our side deck we do have a couple copies of Dark Magic Circle. Then we're also playing 2 copies of Buster Blader because we have Dark Paladin in our extra deck, and because Buster Blader gets 500 attack for each dragon type monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. Then we're playing 3 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The reason why we're playing 3 copies of the Black Stone of Legend is because you contribute this card to special summon 1 level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. So it's a good way to get Red Eyes onto the field quickly, and then you can also target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, except Red Eyes be chicked, and shuffle it into your deck. And if you do, you can add this card to your hand. So it's a good way to get Red Eyes back into your deck. It's a good way to get the Black Stone of Legend back into your deck as well. So after you're done fusion summoning, you don't have to worry about Red Eyes just sitting in your graveyard. You can get them back into your deck to make more plays later on. Then we're playing 3 copies of Amazoness Swordswoman. Reason why we're playing 3 copies of her is because we are running rank 4 Xyz monsters, and also we are running 2 copies of Red Eyes Slash Dragon in the extra deck, so you need warrior monsters to fuse with Red Eyes for that. She's also great as a normal summon too, because if your opponent attacks this card, any battle damage would go directly to them and not to you, so you don't have to worry about that. You can play her in attack mode and not have to worry at all. Then for some draw power, we're playing 2 copies of Danger Mothman. Like I mentioned before, we have some rank 4 Xyz monsters in our extra deck, so this just gives us another option to use for that. Then we're playing 3 copies of King of the Swamp. Reason why we play 3 copies of him is because you can substitute him for any fusion material, and then also you can discard this card to the graveyard to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. So if you have Red Eyes or Dark Magician but no polymerization, just send this off. You can grab one from your deck. Or if you have Red Eyes but no Dark Magician, or the other way around, you can substitute him in and get your fusion play off without a problem. Then lastly, for our monsters in the main deck, we're playing 3 hand traps, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Going into our spells and traps, we're playing 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Then to get Dark Magician and Red Eyes into our hand quickly, we're playing 2 copies of Summoner's Art, so you can add a level 5 or higher normal monster from your deck to your hand. And if you're worried about not being able to summon them to the field, we're also playing 3 copies of Ancient Rules. So this allows you to special summon a level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand, so you don't have to worry about bricking with the Red Eyes or the Dark Magician in your hand. Then we're playing 2 copies of Power of the Guardians. The reason why we're doing this is because it works well with the Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Every time a monster that's equipped with this card attacks, the Power of Guardians card will gain a token, and the monster it's equipped to will gain 500 attack and defense. And then if your monster is to ever be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can take away one of the tokens on Power of the Guardians to protect your monster, basically. Then for draw power, we're playing 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, and to help get monsters back from the graveyard, we're playing 1 copy of Monster Reborn and 2 copies of Dark Factory of Mass Production. So Dark Factory is great because you can target 2 normal monsters in your graveyard and add them to your hand. So it's a good way to get Red Eyes and Dark Magician back and keep making more fusion plays with them. For Monster Destruction, we're playing 1 copy of Raigeki. And then for all of our fusions, we are doing 3 copies of the Claw of Hermos. simply because we are playing 2 copies of Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword, and you need the Claw of Hermos to make this card. And then we're also playing 3 copies of Polymerization, which we would use to make either Dark Paladin, Dark Cavalry, Dark Dragoon, basically a lot of our fusion monsters in the extra deck. And then the last fusion related card is Fusion Recovery, so you can add 1 Polymerization and 1 fusion material monster from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a good way to keep your plays going if you want to get Red Eyes or Dark Magician or even like Buster Blader back. This card will come in handy. Then for our traps, we're playing 3 copies of Solemn Strike, and we're playing 2 copies of Magic Cylinder. If your opponent's monster wants to attack you, you can just activate this, and whatever their attack is, that's how many life points they're going to end up losing. And you can also negate the attack. And then the last card we're playing in the main deck is Red Eyes Fang with Chain. The reason why we're playing this is because it can allow a Red Eyes monster to make up to 2 attacks during each battle phase. Moving on to the extra deck, we're playing 1 copy of First of the Dragons. Reason why we're playing him is because he only requires 2 normal monsters to make him, and he cannot be destroyed by battle except with another normal monster, and he can't be destroyed by card effects either. And because we do have some dark monsters in the deck, we're also playing 1 copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Starving Venom is great because if this card is fusion summoned, you can make it gain attack equal to one of your opponent's special summoned monsters until the end of the turn, and then you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls and make this card gain that monster's effects. So if they have like a really good card on their field, this card basically just copies it. And then if it was fusion summoned and destroyed, you can destroy all your opponent's special summoned monsters. So in a format where people like to special summon a ton from the extra deck, your Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is going to come in handy. And we're also playing 1 copy of Dark Paladin and 1 copy of Dark Cavalry. So for both of these, with Dark Paladin you need Buster Blader and Dark Magician, and with Dark Cavalry you need Dark Magician and a Warrior monster. So we got both of those in the main deck with our Buster Blader and our Amazoness Swordswoman. Dark Paladin's great because you can discard 1 card to then negate the activation of one of your opponent's spell cards. And also, he gains 500 attack for each Dragon monster on the field and in the graveyard. So with a deck full of Red Eyes and the Blackstone of Legend, he'll gain a lot of extra attack points from that. Dark Cavalry is great because he gains 100 attack for each spell and trap card on the field and in the graveyard. And then also he can inflict piercing damage to your opponent. And also he can negate the effect of 1 card on the field. All you have to do is just discard 1 card and you'll be able to negate the effect and destroy it. Then, like I mentioned earlier, we're playing 2 copies of Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword. So the reason why I have this in here, A, it's a Red Eyes card, but B, whenever you equip it to a monster, that monster gains 1000 attack and defense, and then it'll also gain an additional 500 attack and defense for every Dragon type monster on the field and in the graveyard, so it acts like another Dark Paladin basically. And then we're playing 2 copies of Red Eyes / Dragon. So the reason, like I was talking about earlier with Power of the Guardians, with Red Eyes / Dragon here, when a card or effect is activated that targets a card you control, you can send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard to negate the activation and destroy that card. So what's good about that is if you have the Power of Guardians equipped to Red Eyes / and it has multiple counters on it, all you have to do is remove 1 of those counters and you can use his effect. You don't have to get rid of the whole card either. So it'll boost the attack strength of Red Eyes / Dragon, and it'll also work well with his effect. And then lastly, for our fusions, we're playing 2 copies of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Obviously, this is the best card in the entire deck. You can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, and if you do, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack, and you can use that effect up to a number of times equal to the number of fusion monsters you use to make him. So if you want to use, Red Eyes and Dark Magician and another card, or just those 2, you can negate at least 2 or more of your opponent's monster effects. And then as an added bonus, once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can discard a card to negate the activation and destroy that card. And if you do, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon gains 1000 attack. So It's a good way every turn to just keep increasing his strength, and if you want to have some extra built-in protection for him, you can use Power of the Guardians to help strengthen him up that way too. Then for our rank 4 Xyz play, we're playing one copy of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. He's pretty plain and simple. You can detach 2 materials from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes halved. And then also this monster, Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, will gain that difference in loss of attack from your opponent's monster. So it's a pretty simple, quick effect to strengthen up the card. And for our last Xyz monster, we're playing Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. So what's great about him is he can't be destroyed by card effects while it has Xyz material, and while it has the material, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, you can inflict 500 damage to them after the effect resolves, and you can detach the material from him to target a Red Eyes monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So if he's on the field, your Red Eyes is in the graveyard, you have like Dark Magician and Polymerization in your hand, you can use his effect, detach the material, and then special summon the Red Eyes and go continue making the fusion player, whatever you want to do. Then we have one copy of Saryuja Skull Dread for draw power, one copy of Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, and one copy of Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. So what's great about Appaloosa is you can make this card lose exactly 800 attack, and if you do, you can negate the activation of one of your opponent's monster effects. So when you link summon her, she gains 800 attack times the number of materials that were used for it. So she requires at least 2, so you're going to be able to have at least 2 negates with her. So that'll come in handy. And then with Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, you can target one of your monsters that is banished from your graveyard and special summon it to a zone that he points to. Unfortunately, its effects are negated, but it's a good way to be able to bring back, if you want to get, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, or Buster Blader, or even like some of the earlier cards, like Amazoness Swordswoman back to your side of the field for a fusion play. And moving on to the extra deck, we're playing 2 copies of Dark Magical Circle. So whenever Dark Magician is special summoned to your field and you have this activated on the field, you can banish one of your opponent's cards. We're also playing 2 copies of Magician's Rod to help search for the circle if we decide to put it in the deck. We have 2 copies of Red Eyes Baby Dragon because A, it's a Red Eyes card, and B, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck and equip this card to it from the graveyard, and that monster will gain 300 attack. And if this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped to that monster, you can target one level 1 dragon monster from your deck or graveyard and add it to your hand. So you can get the Blackstone of Legend back and use its effect to special summon Red Eyes from your graveyard, or help put Red Eyes back into your deck. And then to help stop your opponent from attacking, we have 2 copies of Book of Moon, so you just target a face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense. To help with spell and trap removal, we play 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, so just pay 1,000 life points, target a spell or trap on the field, and you can banish it. In order to help search out Buster Blader for a fusion play, we play 1 copy of Emblem of Dragon Destroyer. For our main trap, we have Solemn Judgment in the extra deck. Then for hand traps, we're playing 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. And the final card in our extra deck is Called by the Grave, so you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. And that's going to wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to share out the content with other people because we're always looking to grow here on the channel. So with that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one.